What's up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Bets and Ball Games, the Week 1 edition. Before we get going, let's tell you about our friends at Bet Online, the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000 when the game's over. Head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet online, the game starts here. All right. All right. Let's reemphasize our love for Vatek against Vandy. You go first.
I think that is a roster and a team that I released the other day in the 5 at 10. I've got Virginia Tech winning the ACC and getting in the playoff.
Would not shock me. I think they're definitely they might have the best quarterback.
I agree, and they've got a doable schedule. Almost every meaningful game is in Blacksburg, and this is a golden opportunity to take a big stride. And yeah, Vandy's the 16 out of the 16 teams in the SEC, but at the end of the year, you can say, well, you got to win over an SEC team, and I mean it's better than playing Old Dominion or Alabama A&M.
Yeah, and so Vatek was hot at the end of last year, 5-2 both straight up and against the spread in its last 7, but those wins were beat downs by 17, 28, 26, 38, and 21, and none of those teams were G5. Now, or ass candy conference teams, ACC squads, but you know, they're FBS teams. These are not, they weren't beating up on FCS teams like some SEC teams do occasionally. And Chiron Drones, 17-3 TDI and T ratio last year, had more than 1,000 rushing yards until subtracting sack yardage, still 818 net yardage. And Vandy, 2-10 both straight up and against the spread last year, lost most of their best players to the portal. Jay and I, we obviously like Diego Pavia, but he's going to be running for his life. We like Vatek to cover. If you can get Vatek -7 in the first half, will you get a little lesser taste of that? Because I will.
Yeah, but I think depth is an advantage. I mean, I'll probably play a little bit on the first half, but 12 and a half seems not only fair but advantageous. And you and I talked about how many folks are going to make the trip to Vegas from Red Stick. Those fools from Blacksburg, the half of Vandy's facility will be orange and brown. Man, those unis suck.
God, aren't they the worst
They're
uniform? Like
terrible.
orange, like maroon.
Yeah.
Like leave the orange off it. I mean, when they wear all maroon at home, like back in the Michael Vick days, I kind of liked them, but they didn't put the orange
Oh,
gnarliness on there. What are they
just
doing?
bad.
Yeah, I love going to games at Vanderbilt. Well, not the last one I went to, but it's just so fun in Nashville. And then
Well, if you're in Nashville. There's absolutely zero traffic.
I mean, you
Uh,
just prop your feet up on the bleacher in front of you. You know, you can get as comfortable as you want in those stands.
One of my buddies, who's a big LSU fan, he said he tells a great story about the one of the times LSU went over there and the whole place was packed with Cajuns. I mean, LSU, Georgia, Auburn, Bama, Tennessee, when they play at Vandy, it's a de facto home game. Kentucky even. Uh, about midway through the second quarter, the LSU fans had bought all the beer at Vandy Stadium. They had sold out of beer.
Before
So
halftime.
yeah, before halftime. So late during halftime, all these people are still in line, and they make a phone call because they realize how much money they're leaving on the table. And the beer truck shows up,
Pulls in.
and these
Standing
people
ovation.
are just standing O for this guy unloading case after case. Some of the LSU fans are helping him bring the
Yeah.
beer to the concession stand.
Yeah. I bet those Cajuns are going crazy. We
Yes,
got
I
booze.
mean, high fives. I mean,
Love
uh,
it. I
man,
love it.
just a joyous event. Of course, LSU probably won like 59-14. So
Sure, sure. Yes, that's outstanding.